Your dog trusts you deeply, but some of your daily actions could slowly erode that trust over time. In this video, we're revealing 20 serious mistakes that dog owners often make without realizing the long-term impact they can have. These aren't minor slip-ups, they are trust-breaking behaviors that can affect your dog's emotional well-being for a long time. Some of these mistakes are so common that many dog owners have made them, and they can create lasting issues that change how your dog relates to you. Number 20. Rejecting your dog's affection repeatedly. Picture this. Your dog approaches you with that hopeful look, tail wagging softly, ready to curl up next to you on the couch. You're busy scrolling through your phone, so you push them away without even looking up. They try again a few minutes later, and again you brush them off. This happens day after day. Here's what you need to understand about how your dog's mind works. When you reject their attempts at affection, they don't think, "Oh, my human is just busy right now." Dogs don't have the same concept of timing that we do. To them, rejection means rejection, period. Without clear cues and practice, many dogs won't distinguish a temporary not now from a consistent no. Each time you push them away, you chip away at their confidence and willingness to approach. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to these emotional signals, and repeated rejection creates a devastating cycle. Your dog starts to hesitate before approaching you, second-guessing whether their love is welcome. Number 19. Ignoring signs of pain or discomfort. Your dog limps slightly when getting up from their bed, but it's so subtle you barely notice. They leave half their breakfast untouched, and you assume they're just being picky. You catch them licking the same spot on their paw repeatedly, but you figure it's just a habit. These seemingly minor changes are your dog's way of signaling for help, but their voice is so quiet that most owners miss it completely. Dogs have an incredible ability to mask pain, a survival instinct hardwired into them from thousands of years of evolution. In the wild, showing weakness meant becoming prey, so they've learned to suffer in silence. When you fail to recognize these signals and get them the help they need, something devastating happens in your dog's mind. They may begin to feel unprotected when they're vulnerable. Each day that passes without relief, they lose a little more faith that you'll protect them when they're vulnerable. This sense of being unsupported during vulnerable moments can leave deeper marks than the original problem. Number 18. Exposing them to loud noises without preparation. Imagine being your dog when fireworks suddenly explode overhead. The sound doesn't just startle them. It feels like their world is literally cracking apart. Their ears ring, their heart pounds, and panic floods their system as they scramble to find safety that doesn't exist. What's fascinating is how differently dogs react to these situations. Some dogs sleep through thunderstorms, while others become trembling wrecks at the first rumble. The difference often comes down to their early experiences with loud sounds. Your dog's hearing operates at frequencies and volumes that would be physically painful for you. What sounds moderately loud to your ears can feel like standing next to a jet engine for them. The solution lies in gradual desensitization training and creating safe spaces before these events occur. Number 17. Leaving them alone for long periods. Your dog sits by the door at hour 3, still hopeful you'll return soon. By hour 6, anxiety starts creeping in. By hour 10, many dogs act as if they've been abandoned and their stress can spike. Dogs are pack animals who evolved to live in social groups every moment of their lives. When you leave them alone for extended periods, their brain interprets this isolation as rejection from their family unit. They don't understand work schedules or human obligations. They only know their pack has vanished. During these marathon alone sessions, your dog's stress hormones spike dramatically. Chronic isolation breeds destructive behaviors, low mood, and separation anxiety that can become ingrained. Even worse, dogs start losing confidence that you'll actually come back. This creates lasting insecurity that persists even when you're home together. The key is gradual alone time training and never pushing dogs beyond their emotional limits. Number 16. Using the crate or carrier as punishment. Your dog has just chewed your favorite shoes, and in your frustration, you march them to their crate with a stern "get in there." In that moment, you watch their safe haven transform into a prison in their mind. Dogs form incredibly powerful associations between locations and emotions. Their brain creates mental maps that connect specific places with feelings of safety, fear, comfort, or stress. When you use their crate as punishment, you're undermining their sense of safety in that space. This is classical conditioning at work. Every time your dog enters that space during punishment, their brain strengthens the connection between their crate and negative emotions. What was once their cozy den becomes a source of anxiety and dread. The long-term consequences can be serious. Dogs who fear their designated safe space lose their ability to self-soothe and find comfort when stressed. Crates should only be associated with positive experiences, rest, and security to maintain their psychological value. Number 15. Not providing a clear, predictable routine. Your dog wakes up wondering when breakfast will arrive. Yesterday it was 7 in the morning. Today it's nearly noon. They wait by the door for their walk, but you're busy with work calls. Maybe there will be a walk today. Maybe there won't. Dogs anchor themselves to routine in our chaotic human world. Living with us is already incredibly strange for them. We move at unnatural speeds, make incomprehensible noises, and constantly change the environment around them. Routine becomes their psychological safety net, the one predictable element they can count on. When that structure disappears, your dog can slip into a state of vigilance and worry. They never know what comes next, so they must always be alert and ready. This chronic uncertainty exhausts them mentally and emotionally. Without clear structure, dogs often develop behavioral problems as they attempt to create their own sense of control. Maintaining consistent daily schedules for meals, walks, and activities provides the security foundation your dog desperately needs. Number 14. Forcing interaction with strangers. Your shy dog presses against your legs, ears flattened, tail tucked low. A stranger approaches wanting to pet them, and despite your dog's obvious discomfort, you encourage the interaction. You might even physically guide your trembling dog forward, thinking exposure will help them overcome their fear. Some dogs bounce up to every new person they meet, while others need considerable time to warm up to strangers. This difference stems from genetics, early socialization experiences, and individual personality traits. When you force interaction despite your dog's clear signals of distress, you override their natural flight response and risk shutdown behaviors, even learned helplessness. Your dog trusts you to protect them and respect their boundaries. When you repeatedly ignore their discomfort signals and push them into unwanted social situations, you damage that trust fundamentally. This creates lasting fear of strangers and can trigger defensive behaviors like growling or snapping. Respecting your dog's comfort zone and allowing gradual voluntary introductions builds genuine confidence over time. Number 13. Being inconsistent with rules. Your dog jumps on the couch and settles in for a cozy evening with you. You smile and scratch behind their ears. The next day, they hop up on the same couch and you immediately scold them, pointing toward their bed. Your dog stares at you with complete bewilderment. Dogs want to predict and follow your rules, but mixed messages make it hard for them to understand what is expected. They don't understand that Monday's allowance doesn't apply on Tuesday, or that your mood determines which behaviors are acceptable. This inconsistency creates chronic stress because your dog never knows which version of the rules applies at any given moment. They develop anxiety and hypervigilance, constantly scanning your face and body language for clues about what's permitted today. Eventually, many dogs simply stop trying to please their owners because the rules keep shifting. The solution requires family-wide consistency, where everyone enforces the same expectations every single day. Number 12. Ignoring stress signals. Your dog yawns repeatedly during a vet visit, but you assume they're just tired. They lick their lips constantly while children pet them roughly, and you think they're being friendly. Their eyes dart away from your gaze when you call them over, but you interpret this as defiance. Dogs speak to us constantly through their body language, using a sophisticated communication system that most owners completely miss. These subtle signals are their polite way of saying they need help, space, or relief from a stressful situation. When you ignore these early warning signs, your dog has no choice but to escalate their communication. The gentle yawn becomes panting, the lip licking becomes growling, and the averted gaze becomes snapping. They're forced to become louder and more dramatic to get their message across. The psychological damage occurs when dogs realize their quiet pleas for help fall on deaf ears. They feel unheard and misunderstood by the one person they trust most. This communication breakdown creates behavioral problems and can lead to aggression as their only remaining option for being understood. Number 11. Punishing natural behaviors without alternatives. Your dog starts digging a hole in your garden, and you immediately shout at them to stop. They bark at a squirrel in the yard, and you scold them for being noisy. They chew on a stick they found, and you snatch it away with a firm no. This approach creates massive internal conflict for your dog. They're being punished for behaviors that feel completely natural and necessary to them. Imagine being told a natural instinct is wrong without any guidance on what to do instead. Chewing helps dogs manage stress and keeps their teeth healthy. Barking allows them to communicate and alert their pack. Digging satisfies their need to explore and create comfortable spaces. These behaviors serve crucial psychological and physical purposes. When you suppress these natural drives without providing alternatives, they don't disappear. Instead, they resurface in ways you'll find even more problematic. The key is redirecting these behaviors to appropriate outlets rather than simply forbidding them entirely. Number 10. Hugging excessively or inappropriately. Your arms wrap around your dog's body, pulling them close against your chest. While you feel warmth and connection, your dog experiences something entirely different. Their muscles tense as they realize they cannot move or escape from your grip. This fundamental difference reveals why humans and dogs have opposite reactions to the same gesture. Humans often find close holding comforting, while many dogs interpret being restrained as a potential threat. In their world, physical restraint often signals dominance or danger. Your dog's body language during these moments tells the real story. They might freeze completely, turn their head away, or show the whites of their eyes. You might think they're relaxing into your embrace, but they're actually displaying stress signals that most owners miss entirely. When you repeatedly ignore these signs of discomfort and continue forcing physical contact, you erode the foundation of trust between you. Respecting your dog's personal space and learning their preferred ways of showing affection creates much stronger emotional bonds. Number 9. Waking them abruptly from sleep. Your dog lies curled up peacefully on their bed when you suddenly shake them awake because you need to leave for an appointment. Their eyes snap open in confusion, body rigid with alarm as they struggle to understand where they are and what's happening. Sleep represents the most vulnerable state for any animal. Dogs enter deep sleep cycles where they're completely defenseless, trusting their environment to remain safe. When you jolt them awake without warning, you trigger their startle response and flood their system with stress hormones. This becomes especially damaging for rescue dogs or those with trauma histories, who may react defensively when startled awake. Some dogs may snap or growl, not out of aggression but from pure disorientation and fear. Chronic sleep disruption creates ongoing stress that affects your dog's mental health and overall well-being. Gentle awakening techniques and respecting their sleep cycles shows them their rest periods are sacred and protected. Number 8. Scolding. Long after the misbehavior. You walk through your front door after a long day at work and discover your favorite leather shoe completely destroyed, teeth marks covering every surface. Your dog greets you with their usual excitement, tail wagging, completely oblivious to the carnage. You grab the mangled shoe and march over to scold them, pointing at the evidence while your voice rises in frustration. Here's the problem with this scenario. Your dog has absolutely no idea why you're upset. Dogs live in the present moment, and their memory works completely differently from ours. They can't connect your anger now with something they did hours ago. For feedback to be effective with dogs, it needs to happen within seconds of the behavior. After just a few minutes, that critical window closes permanently. When you punish them for something they can't remember doing, you create anxiety and fearfulness because they're being scolded for mysterious reasons they can't understand. And now, before we move on, just know that if you visit happydogsplace.com/gift, you can download a free guide packed with tips to make your dog's life even happier. It's full of fun ideas, helpful strategies, and all the basics every pup needs to thrive. You'll find the link in the description. Number 7. Not rewarding obedience. Your dog executes a perfect sit-stay command, holding their position flawlessly as you requested. You grab your keys and rush toward the door, completely ignoring their excellent behavior. They watch you leave without so much as a good dog or acknowledgement of their compliance. This scenario plays out countless times in dog households, and each missed opportunity chips away at your dog's motivation to listen. Dogs operate on a simple principle. Behaviors that get rewarded get repeated, while ignored behaviors fade away. When good behavior consistently goes unnoticed, your dog starts questioning why they should bother following commands at all. Their internal dialogue shifts from, "My human likes when I do this," to "What's the point of trying?" This psychological shift creates a breakdown in your training relationship. Your dog stops seeing value in obedience when it brings zero benefits. Even simple praise takes seconds and maintains their eagerness to please you. Number 6. Taking away a toy before they're done. Your dog lies contentedly on the floor, completely absorbed in chewing their favorite rope toy. You need to vacuum the area, so you walk over and simply grab the toy from their mouth without warning. Their eyes follow the toy as you toss it aside, confusion and frustration written across their face. What seems like a minor inconvenience to you can actually trigger deep psychological issues around possession and security. This seemingly innocent action plants the seeds of resource guarding, a behavior problem that stems from fear of losing valuable items. Your dog's mind begins forming a dangerous connection. Humans take away good things without warning or reason. This fear of loss can escalate over time, causing them to become defensive and protective of their belongings. Some dogs start growling when people approach their toys, while others may even snap to protect what they consider theirs. Teaching voluntary release commands and respecting their playtime prevents these guarding behaviors from developing. Number 5. Losing patience during training. You're working with your dog on the stay command for the 20th time today. They break position again and you feel your jaw clench as frustration builds inside you. Your voice gets sharper, your movements become more abrupt, and your dog starts looking more confused instead of focused. Dogs read human emotions with incredible accuracy, picking up on subtle changes in your body language, tone, and energy before you're even aware of them yourself. When frustration creeps into your training sessions, your dog feels it immediately, and their stress levels spike in response. This creates a devastating feedback loop where your impatience makes them more anxious, which makes them less able to learn, which makes you more frustrated. Your dog starts associating training time with negative emotions and begins to shut down mentally. When your trusted human becomes impatient with their genuine efforts to please you, it damages their confidence and willingness to try. Maintaining calm, patient energy during training creates the optimal learning environment. Number 4. Using multiple cues for the same action. You want your dog to lie down, so you say down one day, lay down the next, and drop when you're feeling creative. Your dog tilts their head, trying to decode which of these random words means the same thing. Dogs learn language completely differently from humans. While we understand that multiple words can mean the same thing, dogs create specific mental connections between individual sounds and actions. When you use different words for the same behavior, you force their brain to work overtime trying to figure out the pattern. This creates genuine cognitive confusion that slows their learning dramatically. Your dog experiences real frustration when they can't predict which word triggers which response. They might perform correctly with sit, but completely ignore stay down because their brain hasn't connected these as the same request. Inconsistent cueing often leads to training regression and loss of confidence, as dogs second-guess themselves constantly. Clear, consistent verbal and visual cues create the foundation for effective communication. Number 3. Using strong scents or perfumes on them. You spray your dog with fruity perfume before a family gathering, thinking they'll smell fresh and clean. Within seconds, your dog's world becomes completely overwhelming as their sensitive nose gets bombarded with artificial chemicals that mask every familiar scent around them. Most humans severely underestimate just how powerful and important smell is for dogs. We live in a visual world, but dogs navigate through scent. Dogs can have up to 300 million scent receptors compared to about 6 million in humans, making their sense of smell roughly 40 times more powerful than ours. When you douse them in strong fragrances, you overwhelm their primary sense. The psychological distress your dog experiences is similar to having someone place a blindfold over your eyes and expecting you to function normally. Artificial scents interfere with their ability to read important information from their environment, other dogs, and even you. Using mild, dog-appropriate products respects their scent sensitivity and keeps their world comprehensible. Number 2. Not providing enough physical and mental exercise. A border collie needs vastly different stimulation than a bulldog, yet many owners treat all dogs the same. Working breeds were developed to perform complex tasks for hours daily, while toy breeds were bred for companionship. Ignoring these genetic differences creates serious psychological problems. Chronic understimulation leads to anxiety, depression, and destructive behaviors that owners mistake for disobedience. Your dog's brain needs challenges to stay healthy, just like their body needs movement. Without proper outlets, they develop obsessive behaviors, excessive barking, and aggression. Bored dogs become creative in ways you won't appreciate. They'll redesign your furniture with their teeth, redecorate your walls with their claws, or turn your garden into an archaeological dig site. This isn't spite. It's desperation for mental engagement. Long-term insufficient enrichment can damage your dog's psychological well-being. Their cognitive abilities decline, and they lose interest in learning new things. Meeting both physical and mental exercise needs prevents these devastating consequences. Number 1. Teasing or playing pranks. You pretend to throw the ball, watching your dog sprint across the yard only to realize there's nothing to chase. You poke them playfully while they're resting, laughing as they look around confused. You might even dress them up in silly costumes for photos, thinking it's all harmless fun. Here's what you need to understand about how dogs process these interactions. They don't understand deception or humor the way humans do. When you fake throw that ball, your dog experiences genuine confusion and frustration, not amusement. These pranks create unpredictability in your relationship that dogs find deeply unsettling. Your dog starts questioning whether your signals are genuine or fake, eroding the foundation of trust between you. The psychological damage occurs when your dog can never be certain if you're being honest with them. This uncertainty creates anxiety and weakens their confidence in your communication. Dogs thrive on genuine, predictable interactions that build trust rather than break it. How to read your dog's body language. Your dog is talking to you right now through dozens of subtle body signals that you're probably missing completely. Every ear flick, tail position, and shift in posture carry specific meaning in their complex communication system. Stress signals include yawning when not tired, excessive lip licking, whale eye where you see the whites of their eyes, and a low, tucked tail. Happy dogs display loose, wiggly body language with ears in their natural position and a tail that wags their entire back end. Fear shows up as cowering, trembling, ears pinned back, and attempts to hide or escape. Understanding these signals prevents most of the mistakes we just covered. When you recognize stress early, you can remove your dog from uncomfortable situations before they escalate. You'll know when they're truly enjoying interactions versus just tolerating them. This knowledge transforms your relationship completely. Instead of guessing what your dog needs, you become fluent in their emotional language. You'll spot anxiety before it becomes destructive behavior, recognize pain before it becomes chronic, and identify fear before it turns into aggression. Early recognition lets you support your dog when they need it most, building trust and preventing problems from escalating. Daily habits that strengthen your bond. Simple morning rituals can completely transform your relationship with your dog. Start each day by greeting them calmly and making eye contact before checking your phone. This shows them they matter more than your digital distractions. Consistent, positive interactions build a foundation of trust that strengthens over time. Feed them at the same times daily, creating predictability they can depend on. Always acknowledge when they come to you, even if it's just a gentle pat or quiet good dog. Respect their natural rhythms by observing when they're most playful or prefer quiet time. Some dogs are morning athletes while others need gentle wake-up periods. Matching your energy to theirs shows you understand their individual needs. These small changes create profound impacts on their emotional well-being. Dogs who receive consistent acknowledgement become more confident and secure. They stop anxiety-driven behaviors because they trust their needs will be met. The cumulative effect of these mindful practices builds unshakable bonds. Each positive interaction deposits trust into your relationship account. Your dog learns they can count on you for comfort, security, and understanding. Start implementing these changes today. Greet them first thing each morning. Maintain consistent meal and walk schedules. Respond to their attempts at communication with patience and attention. These simple habits repair damaged relationships and create the deep connection every dog deserves with their human. Alright, now that we've covered these 20 things a dog will never forgive, I want you to keep learning about your furry friend. That's why I recommend you watch this other video popping up on screen. In it, I explain the 60 strangest behaviors of dogs. Believe me, many of them will catch your attention. Tap the image to open the video and learn about each one.